You mentioned you want to identify the problem. Then let's talk about what's your superpower, right? Tell me about that. Why did you bring that as a second one?
Well, because once you've defined your problem and you've written out the things and you clearly understand the things that you shouldn't really focus on, what that brings to light are your strong points, because now you have those on a list too. And now you can really start to break those down, right? So like, let's say I have out of my list, I've got, let's say 20 tasks that I really should be focusing on, those are things that I'm responsible for. And now you can go in deep with those, and you can break those down how the same exact way that we broke down, defining the problem. So then you take your 20 or 50 or whatever number of tasks and you just start to refine them. And before long, you become like a master at a small number of those things. So I would take, even a smaller percentage of those important tasks and break those down to really then now go deep and define what your superpowers are, and then just go harder and harder with that. So so for me, it's like I found that communication, I feel like I'm a good communicator. I'm good with people. Like I'm like, I can solve like people problems. I can connect with people, stuff like that. So that those are things that I'm good at. And then also like just the systems, where you and me are very similar, like in our style. Like you're the same way. You're a good connector. You're a good people person. You're also a good systems person. You sit down, you can focus and like come up with a process. So I'm good at that. And among other things, but like, that's how you define your superpower. That's how you know what your superpower really is, by breaking down all the things that you do, breaking down the things that you should be focusing on, even down to a point. Like for you, I mean, even like you're like good at reading and like, and just kind of extracting. Like I know you, Tristan, you extract, bro. Like you do a great job extracting the info that you read, and then you bring it back to people and you share it in a way that is like interesting, in a way that like we want to see it, and it's cool. It's awesome. That's one of your superpowers that I can see, and yeah, and so like everybody has something that they're good at. It's just defining what it is, and then again, it just helps you grow. It helps you, helps your people do the things they should.
Well, you bring up a good point, because I think sometimes we try to take ourselves away from what we're amazing at, right? And that becomes then the problem, right? We shouldn't ever take ourselves away from the things that we're great at. But if there's too much of one thing, like you and I are amazing on the phone, we're amazing at converting people at a really high level, but there's no way we can handle 3,000 leads a month, right?
Right.
And so at that point, we're like, okay, well, what's next? We have to hire an ISA. We have to train them. Let's train them well with the right scripts and processes and systems, right? And this way we can start scaling what we're already great at.